Hey, everybody. Welcome to DeFi Down Under. It's a Friday down here in Australia and it's bloody hot outside. So, we'd love having you here and jumping on to chat with us. And you probably come over just from watching the Hex Conference that Maddie's put on, which has been awesome. Man, what a massive effort that is. So shout out to Maddie and all the speakers on there. It's been a really good conference, and I've watched most of it and enjoyed it. And the last session there, the half hour or so, was really good too. And Somi even jumped on, and man, it's like he's just had 100 coffees and just keeps going with the alpha. And you can just see how much he loves this community. So hope you've all had a good day. And I got 43 here, and a couple of other people might jump on as well. But you there, 43? How's things?
How are you, mate? I'm well.
That's good. Yeah, no, going good. Just been smashing it. It's nice and hot where we are, and I've just been enjoying, in a way, as much as you can, the sort of part of the sentiment at the moment, but all of the fun people are having with, just some of the crap that people like Charles Hoskinson and stuff are saying. It's all a bit of sort of good engagement in a way, I reckon. So I'm enjoying it.
Well, it definitely brings, if the names or the words Hex and PulseChain come out of anyone's mouth that's not in our community, that's I see it as a good thing. But yeah, did you participate in the Hex conference?
No, I didn't. I was hoping to, but didn't quite make it. I was going to see if I could jump on today, but just certain things going on. I wasn't able to stream, unfortunately, but I did really want to. So I definitely wasn't on the boycotting side. Probably don't need to go into that.
Yeah, no, me neither. I've been like in the last little while, I've been like working as much as I can, doing as much extra stuff that I can do. And it sort of was taking place. Like I did get an invite to go participate, as I have previously. I have in previous conferences, and I would have liked to. But yeah, I have to stack. That hex, man. Stack that hex at these prices. The prices are just too good right now.
I agree. They're very good, and I've been doing very much the same. So that's do what you got to do to be able to stack at the moment. And it's also, school holiday time here in Australia. And I mean, it is everywhere really, but yeah, just been enjoying some good old family time as well. But yes, the work thing, made it, unfortunately, that I wasn't able to jump on the Hex conference. But yeah, check out these prices. Another, we always say it's a good opportunity, but with things, possibly changing very soon, if you believe that the case might get dropped, or Hex might get a dismissal. Even Hex at that sort of price is a steal, and PulseX is still at quarter of the SAC price, and Pulse is just below half the SAC price. So if you're new to the ecosystem, you can get in now and be buying in at lower prices than most of the even whales bought in at and stuff like that. I know with some of the multipliers, you might have done a bit better as a whale, but these prices are pretty unreal, really. It's definitely,
man. There are good prices, and I think also the whole idea of Hex is you stake it, you get T shares, and those T shares are what guarantee that daily payout. So yeah, I mean, since the price is so low right now, it's a good DCA time for me. I'm just seeing good DCA opportunities right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing it as that, and I know there's a lot of fear in the market, but that's the best time to be getting into things, because that's when you got the most opportunity. And I know we say it way too much, but one day I believe it's going to take off. And if you have researched the ecosystem and even Hex on its own, you've seen what it's done before. And as well as the fact that most of the other, first or coins that have been around for 1 or 2 cycles are also still fairly down. I think Hex is just gonna fly when we get that chance, just like that meme with the intro. But there was this chart that I saw, basically a liquidity chart with the price versus liquidity. And it was by Stinner, but he put that up. And I thought that was pretty interesting because we all know that liquidity has a lot to do with when the price can move and the volatility can hit really hard. But that just puts it straight out there and quite easy to see. So in the past, when the liquidity's been real low, we've just had these massive spikes in price, and it's coming back down to that area again.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. I haven't seen that chart. That's an interesting thing. Well, let's hope so, man. I mean, wait till I get all my DCAs in, and then feel free to pump at any time.
There's been that recently. I know I've said to you, over the past few days, like, just if it can just hold out for another day, which is good. It's been able to hold down there, but I can really all this FUD that's coming through with the watches and stuff like that. I don't want to sort of bring up new FUD with it, but I just see it as is it even true? If it is true, we've seen Nuclear Herb saying that no one really could have got that information yet because it's not publicly available. So it's all a bit crazy, and I just feel like it's a bit of a targeted attack, really.
Yeah. Well, question I have is, did we talk about, what did we talk about? What happened last week? Just trying to think what we did last week, what we spoke about.
Last week there was a little bit of the other agency that we're the one that starts with an I. I think we went over that one a bit, and all of that sort of stuff. I can't remember what else.
The other agency that starts with an I. Sorry, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. Remind me.
Oh, Interpol. We're just trying not to say that too much.
Oh, right.
But yeah.
Right.
So when all that happened, that was pretty big news, as everyone saw. But I just see it as he's really being targeted and really trying to shut him down at the moment. So I think there's when they do that, that shows a bit of fear on their side as well. And if it is targeted towards him to do with the SEC and actually trying to shut down anything they can, then they're having a good shot at it.
Well, what happened last week. This is something that we hadn't spoken about since last week. Is last week we were talking about Steph's project, and in the time between and it feels like so much longer ago because so much has happened in the last week. But we should definitely talk about what happened with Steph's project, because that was a project that was marketed as immutable code, pure DeFi, and someone who has built stuff before. And look, he definitely had his detractors out there, which I noticed because I think I tweeted something about. I think what I did is when he was coming out with it, I tweeted and I said, "Oh, congratulations on releasing your code." Or the protocol or whatever. And there was a lot of hate that came out of that tweet. And then what happened during the week, as we know, and some of the listeners may not, but what happened during the week is that protocol. Well, the Twitter account came out and said, "There's it's failed. The project's failed." Right. So I don't know if it was like a code, like there was a bug. I don't think it was a bug. I think it was just like the tokenomics, the game mechanics of the project of the protocol were flawed in such a way that it just went into a death spiral. And
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's the code is still there because it was deployed as immutable code, so it's still there. And what happened essentially is the price just dumped really, really hard. So all the people who put money into that protocol or put ETH into that protocol, that ETH is locked. No one can access it. That was a part of the, I guess, that was a part of what I think attracted some people to the
protocol,
that was it was a feature that like no one had access to it, right? And but what it goes to show you is this very, very important point in crypto is never invest more than you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Right. And B, that no matter how like how many runs or how should I put it? It's like no matter how good something sounds, there can always be a flaw. So be pragmatic, right? Be pragmatic. And I guess this is the thing about like with Richard Hart's projects and with Hex, for example, that's been around for 5 years, and it's worked flawlessly for 5 years, regardless of where the price is. And mind you, if you've been in it for 5 years and staked, you're still up massively, right?
Yeah.
There are people who would have bought the top of last cycle, who are definitely not up massively. But that's the same for anything, right? That's the same for anything. And we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens in this cycle, right? We're going to find out what happens. But it's just that it's such an interesting thing that happened, right? And look, man, we have to pay. We have to credit the people who came out and were detractors. They were right, weren't they? They were right. Those people who were detractors.
Yep. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, but they were right. And any of us who, look, in my opinion, it ticked some of the right boxes, but at the same time, you always take a risk with anything, right? With anything in crypto. So the ones that have got the runs on the board are probably like Hex, for example, which has been around for 5 years, and have a very, very strong community, as we can see from the Hex Conference and all the people who were streaming. I think they're the ones that we can pay closer attention to. And, I just feel bad for anyone who lost anything that they weren't, able to lose, and maybe they should learn a lesson from this, that never put in more than you're willing to lose. This stuff can, be bad. I mean, I heard, for example, Ben Sierra.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. He comes up with a lot of stats and stuff. He's like really, good math stats guy. Got a great website called hexbase.de. Lots of great stats. He said that he lost 10 ETH.
Goodness
worth
me.
of, 10 ETH. So we're talking that's 35 grand that he lost.
Yeah.
US, by the way, US. So whatever that is in 55 grand in Australian dollars, but that's a lot of dough to lose on the protocol. So he would be hurting from that. And it's that's tough, man. That's a tough thing to stomach, something like that. I feel for the guy and anyone else.
I feel for anyone that's lost money in any projects. Things like this happen, and anyone that's lost in it absolutely sucks. The thing is that it also you think about it, it could have been put into different ecosystems, could have just straight out
gone into Hex, could have gone into PulseChain. All that stuff could have gone into absolutely, man. So it could have all gone into the RH ecosystem and other stuff, and their funds would still, for the most part, be there. I don't know where the price was like a week or two ago, but It was sort of hovering around this price, I think, from memory.
Yeah, it's pretty low. It was hovering around this price. I think we've just in the past, about the past 5 or so days, it's come right down. But it was pretty close last week. We've just had Ross jump on. I'm going to bring him on while I get into it. Hey, Ross.
Hey guys, I won't be able to spend too long. I'm juggling with my daughter, but I just couldn't help myself but to jump on for a few minutes. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. No,
hey
that's
Ross,
cool.
how you going, mate?
Hey, mate.
No.
I'm smoking a cigar. I am smoking a cigar right now.
Oh,
I'm loving it.
Oh, that's a great way to end the week, isn't it? Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of emphasize a bit more on what 43 said about the whole alti thing, because I've been burnt before by, do you remember a project called Dozza? There was a project a few years ago. You get hex yield, and I put a little bit in. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I got a bit burnt by that.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it's okay, but what I learned from all that kind of stuff, guys, is that whenever I see red flags, I saw a red flag with that project, right? The red flag with that project was they had a very quiet sacrifice that seemed to be a little bit under the table, and there was some suspicion there. But I thought, I'll go in anyway, and I've had a couple of other incidents, with meme coins and things like that in the past. And I just got to the point where I thought, right, in future, if I ever see any red flag at all with any project, then I just stop right there and I move on, because there's so many projects out there. If you want to get into others to get into, if that's something you want to do, that you can't spend days and weeks on all these different projects. There's just so many to choose from that what I do is I just cut it short and I say, right, if there's a red flag, I move on to something else. So when I was analyzing Hex a few years ago, I couldn't find any red flags. Like, I looked at all, the software, how it works, everything. And I kept going. And because I couldn't find a red flag, that was like, right, bye. But with Alti, there are a couple of red flags, especially regarding the supply, that I just thought, right, I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm not going to go for it. I found a red flag. I'll stop. It's not a flawless approach, because I could still miss something, with what that could misinterpret that red flag. But that's just the approach I take. And I think it's not a bad approach. Just keep going until you find a red flag. And if you don't, maybe that's a buy. But yeah.
Yes.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, because there is no tried and true method to guarantee
there's no guarantee.
Ultimate success. There's no tried and true method. The only thing I can think of that is actually in code is comes unless you want to play around trading and stuff, it comes back to Hex and the T-share, because getting the T-shares now and then getting the yield for 5, 10, 15 years, then you're holding long term. And the assumption being that there's a community around in 10, 15 years, and the price is still okay. Because ultimately, just remember, if you stake Hex and the price doesn't move from where it is right now, and you stake Hex for 10, 15 years, you're still, as far as traditional finance goes, you're still going to get a pretty good return compared to traditional finance. But that's if the price was to stay the same. And that's what we're going to find out in the next, I think, in the next year to 5 years. We're going to find out how is this going to play out? How is this going to play out? Because there's no other crypto. There is no other crypto out there that can guarantee you a community in 5 or 10 years, right? And the one that comes closest to that is the Hex community, because of the very fact that people lock up for so long. So because they lock up for so long, they're highly, highly likely to be around for that amount of time. And you can see what's locked up on chain. So it's not like a private thing that you can see what is locked up. You can't see who has locked stuff up, but you can see what has been locked up. And that's and that can give you confidence, right? That can give you confidence in the product.
Well, it's the only product that I can see that also pays truffless yield and is extremely secure. I mean, we've talked about it before, haven't we, True Blue? That even if anyone was to hack that smart contract, they can't take your hex because the hex is burned while you're staked, right? I mean, it's ultra secure, and that's what I loved about it, and I still love that. And I think you're right, 43, that I think in terms of delayed gratification, paying yield, passive income, it's got all the great long-term investing traits in there that for me is the secret sauce of investing, which is getting that passive income, getting that yield, and never having to sell or for as long as possible. That delayed gratification narrative, I think, is fantastic. That's why I'm a big believer of Hex. And I think, if it's a project you believe in, then it's something you're going to stick to, because, price is one thing, but uptime and flawless operation is another. And there's not too many projects that can claim that, really. I mean, even Sui, I think a few weeks ago, had an outage. For all the hype that Sui's got, that had an outage for a few hours, right? So, it's got a lot going for it, I must say.
Yeah, that's right. And we don't even know what these outages mean. Like some of these outages could be, crucial things that are going wrong that, they're managing to sort of just quickly fix up or whatever. And who knows how close it could be to, falling apart. We don't know. But yeah, Hex, unless someone can tell me in the chat where there's been something that's gone wrong, for as long as I've been around, it has been absolutely flawless. Contract has always worked. There might have been like a little, issue with the front end or something, like not loading up here or there. But other than that, it's perfect. And there's other front ends that people have made now that is almost...
You can use, you can use the Block Explorer front end.
Yeah, or that. Exactly.
You can, and as far as I understand, it's one of the only... The ecosystem is one of the only ecosystems that has software that you can run yourself, like on your PC or on your machine. Mac software, like software for Macs, software for Linux, software for Windows. You've got like a Block Explorer software that you can run the server on your own machine. You've got like the Hex front end software you can run on your own machine, interact with the contract. You've got, and what that means essentially is that you are not going to a hosted front end that's hosted by like a third party, right? And that is something that is like another level of decentralization. And also, this is interesting that we're talking about this right now, but just because I was thinking about this week, and Trezor hardware wallets. You guys notice that when you connect your Trezor hardware wallet, have you guys ever noticed that it connects to the Trezor website?
No, I haven't actually. I've
when you
been using the other brand until very recently. So
yeah. Ledger.
Yeah, I've been on the ledgers, but I've come to the other side now after hearing, after certain things have come out about them and the way they seem to be going.
Look, nothing's perfect, mate. Nothing's perfect, right? And as you know, like Papa Bona is a smart dude, and he's right. He's very right about a lot. I'm not going to say he's wrong about this. I'm not going to say he's wrong about this because I don't think he is. I don't think there's a perfect solution, unfortunately. But if every time you connect up, it goes to the Trezor server, right? And it's pinging the Trezor server. I don't know, just maybe to verify the device is a legit device. I don't know what it's doing exactly. I haven't done any. I haven't like packet sniffed the what's going out and back or anything like that. But I mean the thing is that, well, if you've got to rely on the Trezor website, then that's not exactly a perfect solution for you know, what if the Trezor website's not working? Does that mean that you can't access using that device? And then what?
Yeah.
So there is an argument to be made for, like, there's arguments to be made on all sides of this stuff. It's not as straightforward as, for the average person, yes. But, you know, you can't, and I, you know, I've got Trezor, I use them, but, you know, I am aware that is what takes place. And also, what about Ledger? Ledger, for example, when you've got Ledger, you need to go and install the software for the app, right? So you need to go and use their software and then download the app for their software. And as far as I know, Ledger have got closed source software, you know, on their devices. And I think that the good thing about Trezor is it's like open source software. But still, it's not exactly completely a decentralized system when you're relying on that central point to connect up your device, you know?
I've sort of come to a point now where I'm sort of using one of my hardware wallets almost as like a hot wallet, and then having other ones that are truly just you send to that, because and then do nothing on it until the time comes where you actually, you know, because I'm not trading most things, you know, keeping that as a real cold wallet type thing until the day you actually need to move it off, which I'm hoping is, you know, coming up, you know, in the next sort of coming months or years. But yeah, just so you're not touching it and constantly plugging it in, loading it up, and do, you know, just all those vulnerabilities that can happen. One other thing while we're on that topic, and I'll quickly go back to the Alti, but Internet Money Wallet, I just love it more and more every time I use it. The other thing I love about it, and that I want to remind everyone of, is that they don't collect any data at all from what you do on there, and it definitely doesn't get out. So, you know, MetaMask and Rabby both collect all the data that's used on there, and you know, some of them are Chinese owned and based and whatever. Whereas Internet Money Wallet stores no data at all from you using it. So I just think that's a absolutely great feature with them, and it
that's awesome.
A bit of a safer thing to know, and it's had its time now. It's been around. I'd like to actually double check that, but it feels like probably 2 years now or so that it's been around, and I've been sort of very slow on taking it up, and just, you know, over the months, you know, probably the past year, you know, feeling a bit more trust in it all the time, and I use it as one of my main ones now, and I really like how simple it is, and the fact that you can do a quick bridge on there as well. It's not really bridging, but using the what's it called? Similar to PortalX, but yeah, using that system, if you want to quickly, you know, do a DCA or bring some money over onto PulseChain, you can do that within like a minute, and it's gone from Ethereum to PulseChain, and it's in your wallet. So it's pretty phenomenal.
Could I just have a point, True Blue, on the whole Ledger, Trezor, and whatever choice people make? I think it's all just a trade-off between convenience and security, you know, because I think I haven't looked deeply into Trezor, but doesn't that use some Shamir secret sharing shard splitting type mechanism where you can split it up into 3 separate shards?
You have an option to do. You have an option to do that if you want.
Okay, cool. It's the option, yeah. So that's the thing, right? Which is perhaps more secure if you take that option, or if you have this, what is this passphrase thing, the 25th word and all that lot that set up on Ledger. But it's all a balance, isn't it, between convenience and security? Because if you have ultra security, like, you know, Shamir's secret sharing or a passphrase or whatnot, well, good luck trying to pass that on to loved ones if you pass away. You know, you've got to really make sure that knowledge is passable to those people at some point in your life, when you die, you know. So you need a bit of convenience as well. It's just a trade-off, I think. My personal opinion, it's just my real opinion, but I haven't looked deeply into Trezor, I must say, so it might be a bit of ignorance, is that Ledger, for me, which is what I use, has a good trade-off between convenience and security. And I actually store my my 24 words in my head anyway. So for my primary device. So that works for me. But I guess again, it's a personal choice. It's whatever works for you, whatever security length you want to go to, and that whatever you're prepared to pass on to others if you pass away yourself. I think that's what it comes down to, doesn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, you need to weigh up all the pros and cons there. But the more difficult it gets, definitely the harder it is for other people to understand, which is good and bad. If something goes wrong, but I think everyone should think about that. If worse came to worse, what would happen? Are you happy for it to just never be brought back and just sit there, or do you want it to be passed on? So it's
And as 43 said, you are relying on a central piece of software from Ledger or Trezor. That is true, absolutely true, and but again, it's the convenience, isn't it? Right? I mean, it's the convenience of having that device. Yeah, it's from Ledger; they are a company, or Trezor, but it gives us a bit of convenience as well. So, it's just a trade-off.
I think we need to distinguish using a device like that to interact with the blockchain and actually storing. Like you're not using your Trezor to store your seed, like your seed phrase. You're using your Trezor or your Ledger to interact easily with the blockchain. And as far as storing your seed phrase or your that private information, I think that's fair to say that's a separate process completely. So you want a situation where, if, for example, you live in the Palisades and your house burns down and your Trezor is destroyed, that you can still go and regenerate all your private keys if you need to with a new device or with something else, with another piece of software. So that, I think it's important to distinguish between the two. I agree. There needs to be some ease of use. There's always been a debate between what is best, whether hardware wallets are better than, like a secure enclave is better than just general purpose computers for this stuff. I think for the average person, a hardware wallet is probably the easiest way to just keep a semblance of security because I think most people are just using like their normal computer. They're just using their phone, or they're just using whatever. So having signing transactions on the device for them is probably a good idea, and as long as they're just not relying on that device to store their seed phrase, as in be the device that holds their seed phrase, and then they don't have their seed phrase backed up anywhere else. I think that's the important thing. You're going to make sure that seed phrase, no matter what happens, you can somehow.
Well, I store it in my head, but I actually remember it like a song in my head, so I can read it off just like remembering words to a song. I'm not saying I do that for all my devices, but my primary one, I literally, I can read it off like a song in my head. But that's what I do anyway. It works for me. It's a bit extreme, but it works.
That's great. I think, in the event of something going wrong or being away from where you can access, if you've got it, in metal or whatever people do with them, if you're away from that, and just say you can't get back to it again or in time, you need to be able to access it. You should be able to remember it in your head. That's awesome. Definitely. And it's funny, I find it interesting with different people that I've like onboarded or even talked to about their security sort of posture. Some people are like, oh, I just have a hot wallet, and they're happy with that. Other people are like, they've got a hardware wallet. And then if you talk about a separate laptop or a separate computer, that's sometimes pushing it too far for certain people. And then, it's just funny, the range that people are happy with or feel comfortable as well. So I think that should also depend on maybe how much you've got, how big the bags are. But at this this time of the market, $1,000 could turn into a crap load, and enough to warrant all of these. But when I first got into crypto, I sort of straight away at least got the hardware wallet and started that way. But it's a big jump for a lot of people. So yeah, I still wanted to do like a security stream 43. So one day we'll talk about it beforehand and sort of organize to do like a bit of a rundown, so we could always go send people back to a stream where it's mainly talking about that in detail. I think it'd be really good. I just wanted to
I'd love to join that as well. Like, I love to join it. I mean, I know a fair bit, but I'm probably not as deep down the rabbit hole as some others of you guys, but I'd love to join that stream as well. Yeah,
it'd be really good. Just that way we can nut it all out and be able to send people back to that as well.
I think it's a very individual thing. What is good for you is not necessarily good for the next person, and it comes back to what you were saying, Ross, about convenience. And ultimately, with security, the more secure you want to be, you're going to have to give up, some convenience. That is just the nature of it. The harder it is for you to access stuff, it's going to be also harder for other people to access stuff. So that's a very individual thing. That's a very individual thing. What is it also depends greatly on people's capabilities. How many people can set up a computer offline with and just set everything up offline without without connecting it online to download software. You know what I mean? Like there's levels to how deep you want to go down the rabbit hole, whether you want to have a device with just soft wallets in it or a soft wallet in it that is encrypted, like the whole device being encrypted. So like when you turn it on, you have to put in a password to decrypt the whole device, so that if anyone gets their hands on it, they can't just turn it on and access it. It all depends what people are happy or willing to do. But yeah, I think for the most part, most people, a hardware wallet is by far the best option. It's just the easiest thing.
It is.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, I just wanted to quickly go back. I didn't really put in my 2 cents about the Alti thing, and I feel like I should before we can hopefully close the chapter on it. But I actually find it funny because 43, you've used the word ultimately like a few times in the stream so far, and I feel like I'm never going to be able to actually forget about it now, because there's so many and he did well with that, but there's so many words that start with it, and I feel like it's going to be just stuck to us for a long time. But yeah, that was totally Freudian, like Freudian slips on my part. No, it's all good. That's cool. Yeah, we talked about it on that last stream, and we also had Steph on. And on the last stream, it was we were saying, the price has come down. Never know, might be a DCA opportunity, stuff like that. And so and then it was only a couple of hours after that, I think, it was overnight that night in Australia where he posted saying it was failed. So anyone that doesn't know that yet and that's been doing anything there, definitely be sticking away from that now, and let's just hope everyone can stay focused. And if you did go in, like I talked about it and I put a lottery ticket in there. If you did go in, I hope you just went the lottery ticket idea, like Somi and others talk about. And if you went the whole hog, it's not nice at all. But I know it was audited how deep that goes. There was a few audits. My thought with audits is once it all comes back, there's not always a lot of proof that any changes were actually made, and then is it re-audited? So, and the game theory side of it, isn't really part of the audit. It's more the code. So, all very interesting, and let's just hope, that's settled now, and we can start to move on. But now that he's appropriately dressed, he's been sitting in the green room there. I might bring Fast Abdul on. Hey, man.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, mate.
Not too bad, not too bad. You've been smashing out the streams the past few days.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I'm kind of a little bit streamed out, but I saw you guys on. I thought, yeah, these guys I could relax with.
No, thanks, man. That's good. Always good to have you on. And yeah, it's been a big few days for the Hex community, but I know I've seen you on every day, and a few other guys, and yeah, Maddie burning the midnight oil too. So good on all of you for doing that.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly
put in a lot of time.
say good day to the chat. I haven't done that yet. So Quinny Jin was the first one in here. So thanks for jumping on, man. Always in there. And HEXican Lost in Asia. What's up? And the UFO landed. We love having you here, UFO, and hope you're doing well. Always good hearing giving you your 2 cents as well. And Mayo's in the chat, and he's also about to jump on stream. So hopefully he's gets his stuff set up all right. Where is it? CryptiGirl as well. Thanks for joining. I think CryptiGirl is part of the DGen Roundtable. Is that right, Fast Abdul?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I think you were just streaming with them on the conference, but yeah. Thanks for jumping over. I don't know if you're still in here, but I noticed you put a chat here about thinking about the Aussie Hexicans, and she wants to host an Aussie meetup. Well, we'd love an Aussie meetup, and normally Darb, Kuda, and Sammy organise the last couple, I think. But we'd love for any input, and if you're coming down, that'd be awesome. Any input to making a great meetup is always good.
Hey, I'm interested to know what Fast Abdul thinks about. I'm not sure if you're listening. We're talking about hardware wallets and just general purpose computing and the decentralization aspect of I guess just a soft wallet as opposed to hardware wallet. We sort of all agree that hardware wallets are probably the best option for the vast majority of people in crypto. Just wondering your thoughts.
Well, for sure, hardware wallets are the better option, and everyone, absolutely everyone, should use one. But there's circumstances where it's convenient, and that is the main benefit, of course, to use like a hot wallet, right? Like you need to do something quickly. You're doing arbitrage where time matters, for example, things like that. So I'll use a hot wallet for arbitrage, which is, and a lot of people think arbitrage is, I bought low and I sold high. I'd be like, no, it's like fast fingers. I bought it on this DEX and then I sold on this DEX as quickly as I possibly could because I could see there was a price difference, right? And that's a speed thing sometimes. So a hot wallet's good for that. But that being said, there could be improvements to hot wallet security, and there already are some that are better, like the Internet Money Wallet by KG and Don. Has a 24-word seed phrase, right? So right there, you've exponentially increased the security versus like a 12-word seed phrase on MetaMask, and it's still compatible with a Trezor wallet, but you can have your within something like Internet Money Wallet or Rabby, you can have okay, this is my Trezor and this is my hot wallet, and you can switch back and forth between them. And what I would do is I don't ever leave a large sum of funds in the hot wallet. So if I'm using it, I need 50,000 Pulse in my hot wallet to do this arbitrage. I'll move it over, I'll do the job, and then I'll move it back, because that's just a couple clicks, right? But if you're I got to trade 50 times in 20 minutes, then that's hard on the hardware wallet. But yeah. I think if you only had one choice, you would just have a hardware wallet. Does that fit with what you're talking about? I missed the earlier conversation.
I think pretty much, yeah. I think we all like agree that hardware wallets are a good idea. The thing that I've been thinking about recently is I'm not a big fan. It's not perfect because I don't really like the fact that to connect to Trezor, you got to connect to their server. Every time you go add an address to you go add an address to whatever you're connecting your Trezor to, it does go to the Trezor server. That is a point. That's a weak link. You know, ideally you wouldn't have to do that. You know, ideally you don't need to connect up to a Trezor server to connect up your Trezor like that. To me, that I'm not a fan of that, unfortunately. But I have used Trezor. I do use Trezor. Yeah. With Ledger, for example, I don't like the fact that you have to connect up to their servers to download their software for each app that you want to, for each chain. I think that's a point of weakness, but it's a way that they lock you into their, I guess you have to connect up that way. What other option is there? Unless there's some option of downloading some software that you can keep and you can, load your ledger up without connecting to their servers. But I don't believe that is an option.
You're still downloading the
as
software, so like that's still a point of weakness. But even with Trezor, you still you have to it updates your software. Like you have to click to agree, but probably you want to update your software on the Trezor. So I don't know. I think there's going to be development with stuff like that, but it's all about minimizing risk. It's like this is crypto. It's the Wild West. It's never going to be risk free.
Yeah,
guys, I'm gonna have to jump off now. My daughter's asking me what the hell we're talking about. I don't quite know how I'm gonna have to explain it to her. But anyway,
let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go now. But
cheers, Ross.
Explain it with the Christmas presents next Christmas. I reckon.
I'll do that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers for coming on. Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, I think it's for the vast majority of people, I think hardware wallets are probably the way to go for most people. I think, as I was saying that for a high level, if you can lock down a machine quite well, you know how to lock down your machine, and then maybe there are other options out there. There are other options out there that you can consider. But yeah, I think most people, the hardware wallet, because they're not locking down their machines, they're going to pawn sites, quite possibly on the same machine, in the same browser. So it's one of those things.
Yeah,
it
doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Sorry, go ahead.
And you know what? Even if you don't, right? And let's say you've got Windows. You should have you've got users in your Windows machine. There's an administrator. So you should probably not use that administrator as your regular user. You should create a secondary user that doesn't have admin privileges, and you should be using that as your just day-to-day driver to do all your regular stuff. And then you should create, as if you've only got one machine, you should create a third user for crypto. And then, quite possibly in that user, you can, have a browser, like if you're using Chrome or if you're using a Brave browser, you can create different profiles for every browser that you use. So you can have a different profile, like a different profile is a different browser. So you can save, all your PulseChain links in one browser, and then have another browser for other stuff.
Absolutely.
Just some ideas.
Yeah, separating it all out, and it's good. Some people need to hear that as well. We might feel like it's just second nature to do that stuff, but it's great that you're putting that out there, and we should put it all into one big stream about it, I reckon. But the separate browsers and profiles are damn good start, that's for sure. Hey, we've got a long time missing guy just joined on. Here he is. Mayo's jumped on. How are we going for sound?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, that's killer. Very good.
Perfect. Sorry.
Hey,
How are
mate.
we
G'day,
all?
mate.
Good. Thanks for joining.
Long time no speak.
What's
Yep.
been happening, Mayo?
Oh, not much. Christmas, New Year's, holidays, mayhem, work, kids.
We've
the
been out of
usual.
minds.
Always grinding, eh?
Yeah, I've had a couple of weeks off. We had some visitors from overseas come and stay here for the holidays. It was good.
Sweet.
Hopefully they take some crypto knowledge back to Portugal with them in the UK. Yeah.
Nice.
How about you guys? What's been going on?
Yeah, no, just in the trenches, watching everyone sling stuff back and forth and whatever at the moment. And just like Jerry said here, who's aping in right now? Just doing whatever is possible to make that happen, because yeah, I don't think it's going to last long. That's my opinion for my own bags. But yeah, I feel like this ain't going to last much longer. And every other time the charts have headed north from here, I just get pretty disappointed that I couldn't get that last clip in. So that's what's happening for me.
What was your take? Did you watch the conference today?
Yeah, I watched all the other days. I didn't watch today's though. I was pretty flat out getting through my day before the stream, but I watched the last sort of half hour while I was waiting for it, kindly waiting for it to finish. Didn't want to steal all the viewers. I thought I'd do the right thing and just wait until that was finished before we started streaming. So I watched that last little section today.
Yeah, it was good. They had
So you saw Sony
nuclear
jump on
heads on.
Yeah, Somi jumped on it. That was wicked to see him jump on finally.
Yeah.
He just 100 miles an hour, just goes, spits truth. It's so good. No,
So good. Yeah, if only I feel like if only I could talk like him and have that sort of knowledge and just straight off the dome. But yeah, don't know about you guys, but yeah, he does amazing.
Oh, just constant energy. I don't know how he does.
That guy's twitching.
That's for sure.
He's he could still be AI, even though we've seen him live on screen. It doesn't mean that he's not AI. AI has come a long way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
He hasn't been to a meetup yet.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
We need to see what happens. We might need to wait
Did you
for
guys see?
robots to develop.
Did you guys see? Did you see the? There was a clip of the Jimmy Carter's funeral, and they had had Kamala Harris sitting next to Joe Biden's wife, and it's like a regular clip of them going to sit down, and then they AI start fighting each other.
It was.
It's so good, just for a 5-second chuckle. It's just hilarious, man. It's going to get better because you can tell it's like AI, but it's going to get better.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows,
share it.
This isn't real. I was watching it, and
it will be on Twitter. Mayo, it's on my Twitter.
We see now President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden being escorted to their seats.
This is it, yeah.
There seems to be some kind of tension between Jill Biden and Kamala Harris. Oh my God, Jill Biden and Kamala Harris just started fighting.
That was very funny.
Yeah, that is funny stuff. Yeah, AI, it's scary, hey. And people manage to do it pretty quickly. Like I know, just the speed that it comes out now. I don't know how people are doing it. I'd love to watch them actually, edit that and get AI doing it. But yeah, it's only going to get better, isn't it? Scary stuff. I'm just going to catch up on the chat real quick. McNuggets, dude, good to see you jumping in. Hope everything's good on your side of the world. UFO's still going. Cryptigirl's buying. Very nice. Oh, UFO's talking about aliens and drones. Are we going to start that? Are we get into lead balloon tokenomics for Ulti. I love it. That's very good. Ash, thanks for jumping on, man. Yeah, looks like everyone wants you. Hey, the phone's ringing, but love you always being in here. UFOs wanting to see the audit. I think the audit was open for anyone to see. Cow's always on the money, but what are you saying there? If you get into high risk tokens, you have to be watching it like a hawk. Otherwise, if you're at work, you come home and see you've been cleaned out. Pretty much. I think with the Ulti, the only people that actually did well in it was people that got in the first day and then like early as soon as it started. So then when that 24 hours flipped, they could straight away sell. That was the only way that I think someone made money on that.
An audit wouldn't have fixed that problem.
No, that's right.
It wasn't about the audit. It was the tokenomics, right?
Tokenomics, exactly. Yep. Bit finesse. Oh, we're talking about Hex for a fair while there, just like it has been for the past few days. But yeah, the longer it works without hiccups, the more exponentially valuable it becomes. No middlemen. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people look at staking like it's silly, but I think having part of your stack staked is actually a very good idea, especially with the amount of emergency end stakes that are probably going to start happening. Like as of now, 10-year stakes can be emergency end staked for, for their principal. I know a big payday has a bit of a play there as well, but yeah, it's going to be happening, and there's going to be a lot of rewards coming in, I reckon. Mayo's chatting in there. Who else we got? HEXican, dedicated crypto computer with a hot wallet. Yep. Yeah, that can work, exactly. And if the only thing you do is just go to the dApp or the, whatever it is, or even you download the front ends and do that, I think that can work. But, obviously 43 is going to say there's still ways that computer can be compromised just by loading up. But I reckon even if you can plug it into a router directly, rather than Wi-Fi as well, if you want to go all out, that's also probably the most safety you can have there. What do you reckon about that, 43? Just not if you only do crypto and you've never done anything else on a brand new computer, using it as a hot wallet.
It's just going to be easier for some people. I think you need to make this judgment based on how much, like how much you're protecting or how much you're securing. Like if you're talking about $1,000, then you can walk down the street with $1,000 in your pocket, and it's not that much of a big deal.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. Do you know what I mean? Like you haven't got like a padlock on your pocket so I think it all depends on what you're securing, and if the value goes up significantly, then you should upgrade your security significantly to match the value that you're securing.
Yep, I agree. Yep, definitely. What else we got here? UFO, can't remember 7 words in a row, let alone 24. Yeah, some people have a special skill there, remembering all of that. A song's a good way to do it, though. That's for sure. And before you think about getting AI to do a song for you, remember that you wouldn't want to be typing words into AI. So you got to come up with that yourself somehow. Hexadelic, yeah, that's a Dodge Charger, and I stole that off Dozza, so I'm borrowing his background at the moment. Dozza's not with us today, obviously, but he's chilling out somewhere. So I hope you're doing well, Dozza. We miss you, but we love you guys. And if I'm streaming again, is it tomorrow or Saturday week? But yeah, Claz is coming back on. So everyone jump on and check out her new stream. She's always got the different Hex and PulseChain ladies on there. So it's good for a Saturday morning. HEXican wants you to smash a beer fast, Abdul. I don't know if that was beer or what it was. Smash a beer.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Aussie drink.
I'll smash this Diet Coke.
Nice. Yep. Yep. Very good. Crypto Girl confirming she's not on the DGen roundtable. Yep. Fair enough. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. I'm getting rid of that one. Sorry, I just need to get rid of that. There's someone just putting some a known fudder that just makes accounts, which is why I got rid of that comment. Did somebody say meetup? Yep, UFO's in, so we're going to do that. Where are we? I'll just get through this quickly. Ash has a paper wallet from 2011. I remember you talking about Bitcoin on old exchanges and stuff. So, man, if there's a paper wallet with stuff that hasn't moved for a long time, very, very well done.
Nice.
It's good stuff. Brizology post-conference stream. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Sun's out, guns out. yeah. Been actually making the most of some nice time to be smashing the gym lately, which is damn good fun. If anyone's not into it, get addicted to it, and it's bloody awesome. Last one for now, Ash. So in the Hex Conference is no competition compared to this show. Look out, man. That's very flattering.
That's funny. Hey, on that note, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Good chatting to you all, and I'll if I don't see you next week, I'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Dude.
See you, mate.
Thanks very much. Enjoy. Yes. Hey, fast up while you're here. This this Morales thing with the putting their APIs out now. What sort of impact is that going to have positively on on our chain and people connecting with it? What sort of things can you see coming out of that?
Well, I think for developers, it should be a good thing. There's going to be just more options. PulseChain's missing some, just apps and stuff like that are available on Ethereum. So if Morales, if Ivan can fill that hole, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I know some of the the builders on PulseChain are excited about that.
Yeah, fair enough. Things like the crypto tax calculators and things like that, do they run off those types of APIs?
They could. They'll have to run off the block explorer is the biggest thing for stuff like that, and that's where people are gonna have trouble. So I'll have to see. I'd have to look specifically at that. If Ivan could just run up a nice copy of EtherScan for us to work on PulseChain, that would be great.
That would just be so good. Definitely. I've tried to play with some of those tax calculators, and man, the PulseChain stuff, especially if you've clicked a few buttons because it's a new toy over the past couple of years. Man, that is time consuming. And on mine, the price feeds are all wrong, all out of whack, and it's very, very time consuming stuff that I just put aside for now. So yeah,
a lot of people ask about that, but the truth is it's not going to keep anybody off the chain, right? Like it's not an adoption tool. So people are like, oh, we need to spend money on a block explorer. Be like, yeah, it'd be awesome to have a block explorer that was really good. We have a block explorer, multiple actually, that work on the PulseChain, but it's not going to bring in new people. So I don't think it's not going to be a focus right away. I bet you in a couple of years it'll become a focus, or maybe even next year it becomes a focus.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, definitely. Hey Mayo, what's been happening with you and within crypto more so? What are you looking at, thinking about? What's been on your stream?
Just been chilling, man. Just been working, grinding, living life, ignoring the drama.
That's good.
Trying to stay up to date and just focusing on the core coins. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. No,
DCAing when I can. Just
definitely getting the cost basis down at the moment is like incredible, because where people sacrificed at, where things have been bought at previously, it is, absolutely crazy to think that you can still get in at it now. And I know that a lot of people wish it'd taken off and skyrocketed too. But yeah, it's still a damn good time. If you've really, if you've got your heart set on it type thing. And, we were saying about Alti and other projects where, using things as lottery tickets or viewing them as that. One way I like to do it is if you're going to go in and take a lottery ticket, maybe you first, times that by, 5 or whatever, and you go and buy something of a core coin first, and then, dip into a lottery ticket. That way you're not, you're not tempted to put a huge amount into them, because most of the time it's not going to go well. So I just like to, hedge the bets as much as I can.
I think, like, if I was going to go a lottery ticket, I would just put fiat into it. I don't change or exchange any core coins for any lottery tickets. If I'm going to go a lottery, I'll just bridge some fiat and I'll have a crack at it. But
exactly, yeah.
I don't think you should be swapping any of your core stuff. Yeah.
And that's exactly, I see that as like a, when you DCA, you might put something into a little lottery and then the rest of it elsewhere. Definitely not getting rid of my bags. No one's getting my Pulse coins, that's for sure, or Hex. That's all mine.
If I'm swapping my cores, I'm usually swapping them for other cores, like a ratio trade between points. If you understand what you're doing, I think that can be a good play. But there's a risk every time you press the button, of course.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I don't know. The liquidity providing between core coins can be quite lucrative too, right? That's actually one of my big games. Is you don't mine any of the coins in the liquidity pairs and they're core coins, then like, oh, I have more PulseX today, I have more Hex today. Like, it's not, I don't see it as a loss if I'm making a gain overall. And that's especially when we have this kind of up and down and sideways action. It's a pretty good play. Not financial advice.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. Briz was saying that Kamala video is so simple. You could do it in 10 minutes. You take a still screenshot, them sitting next to each other, and then prompt the AI to do that. That's crazy. So there's no editing really involved. It's just literally prompting it to. Yep. What is the world coming to, eh? Crazy stuff. Yeah.
You can use it for good, but it can also be used for bad.
Yeah.
They can do voices too, right?
Yep.
Like,
Exactly.
You can make it and with like the moving lips and everything, it's super crazy.
Yeah. The scary thing is, you know how they say, that you need a certain snippet of a voice, maybe a few minutes of talking or whatever to be able to get enough to like say anything. Well, people that stream have done that well and truly. So that there's a bit of a scary side to all of this, and that's why anyone that has hate on people that come out and stream, I just don't have any time for it, because there's a lot of risk involved as well. Putting your face out there, putting your voice out there, anything like that. So definitely. If you're gonna rag on someone, how about you come on stream and say it? That's what I reckon.
Yeah. Jump on stream. Yeah. Let's talk about it. They never show up when you say that, ever.
That's exactly right. Or like Mayo and his mates, and probably you, Fast Abdul, just let's take it into the ring and have it that way instead. So
go old school, man it out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think wasn't there a scam getting around where they were actually ringing people and using the voice of someone's daughter or son as AI and trying to scam them into paying them to get them out of a holiday trip or something like that? There's
been things like that, or talking about they've taken them, exactly, pay up or else. And that's why a lot of people have been encouraged. It sounds over the top, but I think it's actually a fair thing to start discussing within families, is having like a code word for if that was to happen. You might say a certain word that then tells you that it is actually them. Because it won't be long before that stuff is more and more happening. And it's scary because once again, it's the fear thing, and people will do anything for family and loved ones. So not good. Speaking
a
of
lot of banks lately have been using voice identification to verify people. Like that's a thing. It's in the last couple of years, but obviously, like that is no longer a viable solution, right? Like if AI can do up a copy of your voice, I do not trust that the bank software is sophisticated enough to tell the difference. So,
no way.
They're so far behind.
They are far behind banks. It's incredible. And to think that the different environments you're in, like if you're standing on a street or in a house or there's music in the background, and you can still verify your voice with a bank thing, because I've seen people do that. That means that AI could do it easily, because it's not that accurate, is it? So crazy. Banks are shockers. I can't believe the way that that's heading. So that's why I love this crypto stuff. HEXican's talking about the staking rewards and tax. You're going to have to send 43 a message, or we can talk about it on another stream. But somebody actually, do you know about that, Mayo? Someone's actually talked with the ATO, and they've actually filed something about this.
No, I want to look into this. Yeah,
in regards to the staking rewards, that it can be done as different timing. Anyway, I won't go into that. But we can definitely bring it up.
It's not staking anymore, guys. It's mining.
Exactly.
We're mining now. We're not staking. Yeah,
exactly. That means we can claim the tools for the mining, doesn't it? So the tools we need to use. Yeah. Mayo does a bit of mining, I hear, with his hex stakes.
There you go. Yeah, mine your hex stakes.
Physical mining.
No, that's right. Hey, you know how we're talking about the AI and that, just something else about scamming. Be careful of things like this, everyone. When you see a post that's obviously coming from someone that you normally might think is fair and trustworthy, and putting out words that they might speak, and then it's a fake account. So, they might be getting people to follow them or hit the algo a little bit there. So then later when they post something that is a scam, or they might even reach out to you, and then straight away, try and get you to hand them your keys or download something. So just be careful with posts like that, or anything on Twitter. Verify the name, because as you can see, the underscores there of CZ Binance, and if you actually type in his one, it's only got one underscore there, CZ underscore Binance, and that's it. So I was reading that post and I'm like, yeah, I like that. And then I realized actually that is a fake account. So beware.
Do a reality check. Like if CZ from Binance is sending you a private message, is that realistic?
Exactly.
Like I received a couple of private messages from Richard Hart, but it wasn't Richard Hart, right? It was a Nigerian guy, right? Like, that's how it works.
Absolutely. It's scary times, but there's people that they'd be like, oh wow, and they'd feel a bit uneasy about it for a second, but then they'd think maybe it actually is. So, and they're the ones that are going to get stung, aren't they?
100%.
Yeah. Hey, there's a chart I came across, which is like the titles don't get shaken out. I sort of feel like this could be kind of right at the moment where we're sort of sitting at, because coming into January 20th with the inauguration and all that sort of stuff, and then we get these sudden dips and a bit of FUD going around in the broader market as well. I feel like we could be roughly about there. What do you guys reckon? Bit of a bear trap before we
Feels about
go to
like
the moon. Yeah.
Like I bet you Bitcoin, in my opinion, is just taking a break until the Trump inauguration, and then it's happy moon time. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Everything else follows Daddy Bitcoin.
Pretty much. No, that's exactly right. And what Bitcoin's sitting at, I think, about 93 or something, 94,000 at the moment. So you hear people saying, oh, is it all over? But it was just at that price a week ago and then the week before that or something. And we're just waiting till we can, break through that 104,000, I think, that we've had, the local top. And once we break through that and there's some positive news everywhere, man, it's going to be unreal. But that's if this inauguration goes all well. There's a lot of talk about, things that could go pear-shaped. But my thoughts and prayers are just towards, that all this happens and Trump stays right where he is.
What about the
I
obviously seen the DOJ. Sorry, you go.
Go fast.
Go ahead.
You go fast.
I think it's very unlikely he'll get assassinated in the next 2 weeks. I think they've probably locked it down. There's a lot of conspiracy theory, but I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone is very aware of, or there's fear in everyone about the next moves and all this sort of stuff because one slip and it can turn bad for communities or nations and stuff like that. So that's why there's a bit of fear about it all. But what were you going to say, Mayo?
Well, you brought something else to mind now, but first I was going to bring up the topic getting around the DOJ still on the Silk Road.
Oh yes,
BTC. Yep. That's the topic at the moment. And then also now that you've just brought up the Trump and the theories there, have you seen the latest thing getting around Trump? I can't remember what I said. It was a Daily Mail article saying Trump to take over Australia or something like that over Albanese.
Yeah,
He's been taking over.
Yeah, he can just
did that to Canada too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. We need to get into that, but the Aussie thing. I mean, I was calling for that. Like, if we could get someone like him or Musk or something to put some sort of input towards Australia, would be good. But didn't he just get Kevin Rudd on his side over there as an ambassador? I can't remember what it was, but he's in deals with him. But I did see
that.
This post here about the bold push for Donald Trump to seize control of Australia. I think he's got enough on his plate at the moment. Trying to do that Greenland stuff as well. Hey.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I've got some dog action going on here.
That's right. What do you reckon? So what's the go with the Canada thing and Trump? Fast Abdul, is he going to make ground?
Well, he said that Canada could be the 51st state of the USA, and it wasn't super popular in Canada. And he also most recently decided that they should change the Gulf of Mexico to be the Gulf of America, which I suspect the Mexicans probably weren't down with. So I think that's like he's trolling, right? Which is kind of hilarious.
It is,
but it is what it is.
I love how I love the age we're in one way where there's all this trolling going on and, things like the stuff that Elon says and posts and that it's all catching on that it's a bit of good banter and that there was a while there where that just disappeared. And I think it's nice just to have a bit of humor and a bit of banter back around the place and it be accepted. Maybe that'll just stop everyone being so serious all the time.
Agreed.
Talking about the memes in the world, like how crazy is it that everyone has all this knowledge throughout the world of everything that's happening, which are conspiracies or whatever you want to call them, but now they just become jokes. So everyone knows and we're all laughing, but what's actually happening about them? Who's doing something about them?
Yeah, it's true. Yep. Yeah. No, absolutely. I don't know. It's going to be a big sort of. I think there's a bit of a shakeout happening, isn't there, over all this change and Trump coming in. So we'll see where everything sits and what he manages to shake out as well, and the trends that he can either reverse or bring some new things in. I think is going to be great, and not just for the crypto side. I'm bullish on him coming in for crypto, like big time, and I think we're all hanging on the edge of our seats, waiting for that. But yeah, in the way of the grand scheme of things and what actually happens, in America, is just something we have to wait and see.
Personally, I don't think that much will change. Not very much changed last time he was in. Not very much changed when Obama was in or when that other old crazy guy was in. Okay, politics is politics.
Was that other crazy guy even in? Who knows? Eh?
Well, he was hanging around eating ice cream. I don't know. But like it didn't, it's just like, like think of the last Australian election. Like how much changed when you switched leaders? Was it a big change, small change?
No, it's like it's almost like we say in crypto, like how it's priced in. It's like it's almost like these things are it's already happened, or in the lead up, things have shifted and the cards have already been sort of moved. In the way of actual laws and rulings, I think it's going to be some big changes. But yeah, in the way of other things, I'm not sure. We will see. I hope it's positive though for the American people, and then we follow. Australia certainly follows what happens over there, so it could roll on to us as well.
Yeah, as does Canada. I think it'll be positive for markets and things of that nature. Crypto included. But does it? Will there be sweeping changes to the world? I suspect.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know if that can happen with these types of with that type of leadership. I think it's mainly in building new things and stuff like that where there's changes in the world that are happening. So things like crypto, the stuff that Elon Musk's doing, things like that are going to rapidly change the world, I believe. But yeah, hey, Bitfinesse is checking you out there, Mayo. Looking trim, man. Yeah,
I've actually lost muscle and put on a gut since Christmas. I've been eating non-stop.
It's a bit like that.
Eating like crazy. Yeah,
I chose the worst time to try and cut down was like straight after Christmas, and then it's like then there's New Year's, then there's this and that, and it's like, oh man, bloody tough. And you look like people look like you're like you're an idiot when you're at an event or a family thing, and you're like, nah, I'm not. I won't have any. They're like, come on, So it takes a bit of drive to not hit it up.
Yeah, the silly season will get you.
That's exactly right. So I'm just saying, if any founder sends you a DM, maybe you should sell all of their assets. Yeah, that's right. If they're calling asking for help. Yep. That's right. That's good. Yeah, Gina, we're still going.
Typically, it's not the actual founder DM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not. It never, almost never would be. That's right. Yeah, Gina was maybe going to jump on tonight, but wasn't able to this time around. But next time we'll send you a link, and it'd be good. So good to have new people on. What's Bitfinesse? Fear isn't real. I did some research. Turns out it's just an emotion.
Well, it is. We're not born with any fear, are we? Fear's taught or
put into you. Yep.
Yeah.
Find that interesting. People say that even about like parenting with like a spider, like that whole fear thing where we teach our kids to be scared of spiders, whereas if and I've noticed that with the younger ones, they're totally interested, and that can be taken right through to all sorts of different things. But as simple as a spider, normally they'd be like, "What's that?" and want to play with it, and then we make them scared shitless.
Yeah.
So,
if I lived in Australia, I'd teach my kids that too. Less of a
Yeah,
concern.
that's right. Yep, exactly. There's some of them are friendly.
Big old huntsman, eh?
Yeah,
Eat all the
you
bugs in the house.
guys have way scarier creatures in general.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks very much, man.
Where I live, we don't even have poisonous snakes, right? Like it's like they're snakes, but they're not poisonous. So you can just pick them up. Like, it's
right.
different. Now we do have bears, however. You don't have bears. Well, you have koala bears, but I'm less worried about that.
Yeah.
We got drop bears. What are you talking about?
Yeah, them too.
The drop bears.
Yeah. Where I live, we actually keep a shovel by the back door, and that's for intruders and slithery things that we often find by the back door. So,
Nice.
quite often got to get out there with that. Good stuff. But don't tell the greenies that, because apparently you're supposed to call a catcher to come and help you out.
Don't even get me started on them. You all know I'm in coal mining, right?
Yeah.
We hurt an animal, it's the end of the world, right? But let's go to a wind farm. You probably don't know, but on a wind farm, they can euthanize a koala to move it out of the way. No one talks about that.
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
That is awful.
Kill like millions of birds every year too. Like
it's
the
ridiculous.
actual like turbines kill lots of birds.
Yep, and I've heard because they make noise, like the frequency of the hum and stuff like that of them, not only affects humans, but affects the animals, the cattle near them, and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I'm with you. It's very, very ridiculous. I was only just before the stream having a bit of a whinge about all these wooden spoons. Literally, like you go to ask for a spoon for something when you're out and you get a wooden set of cutlery. And just how insane that is, in my opinion, because we still have, supermarkets have more packaging than ever of all this plastic, but we can't even get a plastic spoon or plastic pair of cutlery,
Well, you get a popper now for your kids from the supermarket, and it has a paper straw, but it's wrapped in plastic still.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a juice box for those that aren't Aussie.
Yeah. I think it's absolutely atrocious how that'll happen, but I think it might have made the greenies happy for now. So yeah,
someone made a sweet back pocket deal with that, I reckon.
Absolutely. Hey, this all this stuff that's happened with Cardano, are you aware of that, with Charles Hoskinson and what's happened over the past sort of 24 hours with the PulseChain? Yeah, it's
a little bit.
I found it quite funny, and I'm not going to go into it too far, but just wanted to remind anyone that that is on any of that stuff, or believing the FUD there. If you look at the volume of these chains, and just over the past 24 hours, you can see PulseChain, I think that's sharing. Yeah, PulseChain is down at 26. And then if you keep scrolling down, all the way down past 30 and at 40, you can see the volume of Cardano there. That's on by Llama. So we're smashing them on that, and probably helping because Charles Hoskinson is giving us engagement. But even if you put it to the 7 days, I don't know about the 30 days, but we'll put it to the 7. PulseChain 22 in volume. I know it's not, the be all and end all metric, but Cardano again at 31. Let's do the 30 days. PulseChain at 17 in volume over the past 30 days. And Cardano's down at 33. So thanks very much. I know it doesn't mean everything, but our chain is thriving. There's a lot happening on it. And just because there's a bit of, legal stuff going on, I just think it's, important to find out facts first and stuff like that. So if you want to look that up yourself, you can see some videos on it. And he did an interview with David Gokhshtein and said a bit of, I guess it's a bit of misinformation. He might not have intentionally done it, but his information wasn't right either. So, it's all very, very interesting when it sort of goes down the chain and you get these people, these other leaders saying things that are not true. I just don't like that sort of thing happening. So, but yeah, I won't go into it too far there. It was just funny. That's all. I love that we're getting engagement out of it.
Yeah, and that's what I thought right away is like he's talking about us, we're winning, right? Like that's the truth of it. Like how many people are like, "What's PulseChain? What's he talking about? What's this? Who's this Richard Hart character?" But that are going to remember it when something positive happens. Yeah. Oh, the Hex case got kicked out. Oh, that's when Charles says it was bad. He was wrong. I remember, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
could be a thing.
Exactly. Yeah, all right, I'll get into it. even the stuff that they were saying. He was like, "Oh, every street there's someone in the chat, someone saying PulseChain, buy PulseChain, buy Hex, It's like, yeah, so it's working. It's absolutely working. It's just, there's nothing bad about that. It's not a scam. You can see by how long the chart's gone for and the people that have actually been scammed in it. I think is zero. I don't know if there is anyone, but it's all been zero except for the SEC scam. So, yeah, no, it's funny stuff.
You were scammed by the SEC, yeah? I'm with you.
Yeah,
I might have to go see Charles's streams. I don't usually watch them, but maybe he'll get a couple super chats from me.
Yeah, exactly. You can bribe him to talk about you.
Bribe him, yeah.
Any exposure's good exposure, eh?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I don't 100% subscribe to that, but there is a line where it can be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What about speaking of the legal side and SEC? A good question I heard today was, would you prefer the case to be thrown out, or would you prefer it to drag on and be fought and won?
Look, as much as a lot of people won't like my opinion, I'm in this for like the long haul type thing. Like it's not like I'm 80 and I'm, in 10 years, I'm going to be not having much to do with money and finances. And I'm also in it for the generations as well. I've got kids and I want them to have kids and stuff like that. So whatever is best for the long run, that's all I care about. I don't actually care about the next few years. Gains would be nice and amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I care about the long haul. So whatever's best in that, and I think probably fighting out and winning would be best. But we've got a judge just there, Fast Abdul's sitting on the pew. What's your opinion?
I'll make the call. Honestly, I would probably take a dismissal over a dragged out win. If the choice was before me in my courtroom, that would be what I would choose. A dismissal of all things as quickly as possible, rather than a large public battle. Because we only have one bull market in this cycle. We're not going to have another bull market until after the next bear market. So I would hate for people to miss it. It seems to me that would be as memorable a thing as winning a long drawn out battle. So there's probably a middle of the road there, and I think that's probably what we're going to see. And this is far from legal advice, but if maybe something gets thrown out, like Hex gets thrown out of the SEC case, and we'll have a partial win, and then or maybe all the SEC stuff gets thrown out, period, and we're just dealing with the Finland FUD, right? Like over the course of the next 6 months to a year. It's like somewhere in between, where we don't win it all, but we win some of it in a short order, in enough time to capitalize on a bull market, and then over the course of the bear market, we win the rest of it, and then the next bull market we come back like freaking superheroes, right? That'd be cool.
Yep. No, very true. I think like I said, whatever would be best for the long haul. And it does seem like if it was suppressed at the moment and for this cycle, that could really damage things for the long term if we don't get up and about very soon. So we'll see. But I think it is possible, like you've said, Fast Abdul, about maybe Hex getting dismissed, and then the other one's fighting on for a bit longer. If that happens, that shows
Yeah,
that
it's the most obvious.
I think there's some positive sentiment then around the rest of the outcome if Hex does get dismissed, because it shows that they're not out just to crush anything RH did or built, or may not have been a part of. Do you know what I mean? So yes,
Yeah,
and we could expect anything anytime now, you know, in the next days, few weeks, you know, hopefully by, you know, in the next 10 days we get that inauguration, and there's going to be a lot of changes within the SEC with the guzzler getting kicked out and stuff, hopefully. So it could happen any minute now. So let's go. Brazology is asking about an AI video. I'm not sure which one that is. I've seen him post a few, but yeah, you have to fill me in on that. Bitfinesse carrying a stainless steel spoon everywhere he goes. Yep.
I carry a fork in my use.
Yep. I carry a fork as well. Nothing like getting a nice burrito bowl and then having to use a wooden bloody fork for it. So
just get forked.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Gold. There's someone else talking about that stuff somewhere. Yeah. Watch out for the drop bears. Ash buys plastic straws online. I actually said to my wife today after that wooden fork incident that, yeah, if she ever sees spoons out and about that are plastic in the shops, to just buy 20 packets. So, yeah, online's a bloody good idea. I'm going to do that. Charles is all right. He hates BTC maxis, so he's a friend. Yeah, look, I just think if it's not true, like what he said, if the facts aren't straight, it'd be nice if he made, you know, straighten them out as publicly as he said things that weren't true. So I don't have heaps against him.
Maybe he will.
I just think it's... Pardon?
And maybe he will, right? You know, like maybe he'll clarify, or you know, this part was a mistake, but I still think this could be true. Like maybe he will do that. He seems reasonably honorable to me.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yep. Let's hope he
does. I was
does.
surprised to find out today he's only 37 years old.
Oh, I know, right?
I was like, what? What have you been doing, man?
I don't know why we never knew that, but I can't believe he's 37. He looks at least 50. At least. Even the way
it's impressive what he's accomplished for a 37-year-old, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, he looks 55, 60.
Yeah. There was oh man, you absolutely cracked me up yesterday. When what's his name? What's the longevity guy?
Aubrey.
Gandalf.
I'm streaming. Yeah. Aubrey. Yeah, you said the younger and healthier Gandalf. That just absolutely cracked me up. But yeah, Charles Hoskinson kind of looks like the little bit unhealthy, or could be the unhealthier Gandalf if that's his age, man. Like that's crazy. Anyway, that's enough having a dig at Charles.
Yeah.
Let's go crypto. Yeah, exactly. Mayo RH is going to have a field day with Charles. Sorry, brought him up again. Probably. Yeah. Make Hex
people
more
are speaking up. Well, RH has to be quiet, right? Once he's not quiet anymore, those guys are gonna disappear into the woodworks for sure.
Absolutely, it's going to be an epic comeback tour. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Make Hex more legally concrete than Bitcoin. Yep. And in some ways, like, almost more decentralized. Like I know that Bitcoin technically is decentralized, but just the way of the ownership and the whale ownership, massive amounts lately, is means that it could be quite easily manipulated, I reckon, over time. because there's some massive buyers getting impatient and want the case over. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me.
The window is
not
90 days, right?
Pardon?
Third blue, I think I'm lagging. The window for the court case is 90 days where the judge has to give an answer, and we're like sort of 60 days-ish, right?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, so we'll hear something soon.
Exactly. I think it was 31st of October by memory. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, we're just over the 60-day mark.
Yeah. So next month.
Exactly.
Or this month, or next week, or tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and
it could be very soon.
Yep, definitely. Somi's spoon made of solid metal. Lovely. You have to love Fast Abdul. He's so dynamic. Yeah. Yeah. Now he's part of Sesame Street. So, yeah. And the dry humor gets me every time. Love it. Auntie Abdul. There we go. Is that your new name? Auntie Abdul.
Not quite sure where they're going with that, but okay.
I don't know. Well, we've got, if it's in relation to this, like over here, have you seen Adam Stokes, the Aussie crypto streamer? He's probably one of the biggest.
Yeah, I like him.
We all call him Uncle Adam. So unless they're going down that route of Auntie Abdul, I'm not sure. But yeah,
I think it's probably about my Sesame Street background somehow.
Yeah, probably.
Could be wrong.
Yeah. Charles is a leading investor in anti-longevity research. Okay. Yeah.
See, yeah, that fits.
Look, it seems that way, doesn't it? It's not working. Well, it is if it's anti-longevity. Yeah. Yeah. Is BTC decentralized? There's like 6 mining pools. Yeah, well, that's right. The mining pools are getting, like, there's less and less of them, but getting bigger, right? Each one, in the way of who's doing it. So it used to be
a cartel, really, aren't they? The pools.
It's turned into that, hasn't it? Because it used to be that people were doing it in their own houses, and now it's like it just doesn't pay. No way it can pay to do that, as far as I'm aware.
BlackRock is the real cartel, right? Like, those guys are cornering the market, and I think I'm not a BTC expert, but I think once they acquire a certain amount, they might be able to sway some things, like force a fork of it or something like that. I read something about it, but I don't remember the details right now. So right. They're the ones you watch out for, BlackRock.
Yep. They've certainly come in a big way, haven't they? And for someone that was probably, or an entity that was keeping everyone away from it for so long, now coming into it, it's got to be on their terms as well. It's got to be good for them. They're not just doing it for the people.
Definitely not.
You got to be aware of that. Yeah. There's a new DEX aggregator, am I right? From 9 mil?
Yeah.
9 millimeter?
Yeah. 9X. Yeah.
That's cool.
I've been talking to some guys on Twitter about that. The claim by, like, basically the Tank Gang is pushing it, right? Because they have all their stuff on the 9 millimeter DEX and the 9X aggregators by the 9 millimeter team, and they're pushing that it always gives a better trade on every single thing, which is definitively not true. I immediately poked holes in it, but it does sometimes give a better deal, right? So it's it's one of the tools that I haven't used it yet, but I've looked at it. I've checked the prices. It's one of the tools I would consider using if it had the better deal on the day. But that, like, the way DEX aggregators work is they're rooting through multiple pools to find the best deal, taking a little from here, a little from there. Like, and the routing is a dynamic problem, right? It'll change all the time, right? Depending on who bought or sold and all these different things. So sometimes they'll have a better deal. Sometimes Piteous, the other DEX aggregator, will have a better deal. Sometimes you're better off buying directly on the DEX, whether it's Fox 9 millimeter or 9 inch or PulseX, you know, it's not going to always be one thing. So be aware of that. But for me, we have two pretty good DEX aggregators right now, from what I can tell. I haven't used the 9x one, but it looked like the prices look like, yeah, they're competitive, and more is better. So yeah, we have competition. There's not a monopoly. That's great.
Yeah.
Right? But like, yeah, don't believe the smear campaigns that like this one is better than everything else, because it's just not true.
I agree, and there's certain parts within this community that we all have a loud voice, right? But there's certain parts of the community that also get very loud, and they can try to, or their opinion could sway you. So yeah, always check. I like to check over a few different sources. Mateus, you know, and even PulseX, check on there. And yeah, go through a few different ways of checking it out, and make sure you are getting the best deal. Even the Internet Money Wallet has a swap feature that checks all the DEXs as well.
Exactly, yeah.
And there is a small fee there, but sometimes the deal is just as good on there. And the other thing is that it is a new DEX. There are things that can go wrong, so maybe don't do massive trades on it. Maybe don't, if you've got a super cold wallet that's your main wallet, maybe don't connect it just yet. Just give it some time. I like to give things time before I go hard. So yeah, just take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have had some problems in the past, so that's relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, and not to say that any of it is, you know, intentional, but there are things that can go wrong, and there's no one to call when it goes wrong. You're not going to get it back. So one other thing that's great is Internet Money Wallet. They've put in an alert where if you paste a contract address into your into where you're sending crypto to, it'll come up with an alert saying this is a contract address. You wouldn't want to send your coins there. So because there's been people that have sent to the PulseX, you know, contract address their coins instead of to another wallet. So it's good that things like that are happening.
We'll have to get KG on to confirm, but I believe the Internet Money Wallet is setting it up so that people will have access to their aggregator outside of the wallet, right? Because right now, I believe you have to be inside the wallet to use it, right? Like, so you have to download the wallet, and then you can swap inside the wallet using their DEX aggregator, which is the only front end for several DEXs on the Pulse chain, like copied Shiba Swap DEX and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But I think they're just going to have it as a browser option, so you can use any wallet with it. But yeah, I'd want KG to verify that because I don't remember the exact details.
Cool. Yeah. No, we've been talking a little bit off of this, and he'll come on one day soon, so that'll be really good. But yeah, if they do that outside of the wallet, that'd be great. But one thing I'd like them to do is stick to the wallet thing. And KG's always said he's going to do that, not sort of get out of it and start doing other things that can distract him from just building the best wallet and maintaining it to be safe, secure, and the best wallet, you know, that it can be, which I think is important just from a wallet standpoint.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, agreed. And KG is he's one of my very favorite people in all of crypto. I trust him implicitly. I think he's going to keep his word. He's going to do his best. And he's put in mega hours. Like, a wallet build is not a meme coin. Like, it's a big deal, right? And the job never ends, right? Like, they're never gonna, like, they will always have developers on staff forever. It's
exactly.
It's a company, like more than just a project. It's like an ongoing thing. So yeah, I hope the best for those guys.
Yeah, big time. And that shows, like, you know, why there's only one wallet that's been developed really for PulseChain by PulseChain people, PulseChainers, compared to how many other projects have been put out on PulseChain, and some of them have gone wrong here and there. And yeah, there's a reason there's only one wallet, and that's because it's bloody hard to do and takes big amount of effort.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, so good.
So I missed a bit of that, sorry. But
That's
I've got a question with the wallet. Sorry.
Yep.
So, you think someone creates a wallet? Do you think that? So, let's say like MetaMask, they get pressured by powers to be
yeah.
to give information, etc. Blah blah blah. What do you think in that perspective? I probably didn't explain it properly, but
Like,
yeah, I get what you mean. Like,
so they, if they, you know, they come onto it. Well, they go, right, we know everyone is using PulseChain, everyone is using this wallet. Let's put pressure on the people that created this wallet to then put a back end in, or put something that retrieves data, or anything. You know what happens when they put pressure on? Yeah.
Look, I think
I've talked to KG about that.
Oh yeah, go.
They don't have any information to give. Everything's on chain, and that's it, right? So that there's zero, like they don't keep any user data whatsoever, right? So if they're like, who owns this wallet? Like they don't know, and they can't tell you, right? And you know, but it's on the blockchain. You can follow any transaction you want. But I know 100%. Yeah, they're not keeping any data. They're not keeping your IP address. They're not keeping anything.
Yeah. And so from what I take of that is that it's not even accessible on their end. Like it's not that they're not keeping it. They don't even have a feed for it. But I guess you're asking, Mayo, what if they got asked or told they had to put in a way to get that information? Who knows? I mean, that'd be awful. But I guess that happens in lots of places. I don't know. Let's just hope they wouldn't do that and give in to that. But I don't think it would come down to that, really, because as Pastor Abdul said, it's all on chain.
It's a regular wallet, right?
Yeah.
Like if they were forced to KYC their customers, for example, right? Like let's say the U.S. government forced them, like, okay, you're based in the U.S., you must KYC every customer and block their wallet until they do. If you have because it's a self-custody wallet with a seed phrase, you could take that seed phrase or private key and you could export it to another wallet, right? Like you could just jump ship with zero risk, right? Like you just be like, oh, okay, I'm importing my seed phrase to Rabby because this happened, right? And like because it is a self-custody wallet, you'd always have that option just to move somewhere else.
Yeah.
I suppose this loops back around to how 43 was talking about, you know, when you connect your Trezor, it goes and connects to their server, or let's go and they'd release an update. So you don't know what's in this update. It basically has, I don't know, what would be in the update? Some kind of tech which would pull the data. You know what I mean? I'm not really finding the right words here, but
yeah, I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, if you're looking for the data, most of it could lead back to an exchange anyway. So if you really wanted to, you could find, you know, what centralized exchange the coin started on, or, you know, trace that back if you're looking for the person. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what other data they'd want or people would want out of it. Who knows?
Yeah, I suppose we go. The main thing is, as long as you've got your seed phrase, that's the main thing. And would they, you know, they update their software, you just update it without looking or reading what they've updated, and you just go and do your trading, and then bang, it's like a Trojan horse. You know what I mean?
No, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
I'm not trying to downplay them. Just any wallet or any company in general could be approached. You know, like Trezor could be approached, like Ledger with their backdoor. Like these things happen. Yeah.
No, that's true. Well, as far as we know, and it's public knowledge that, you know, Rabby is like Chinese owned or based or whatever, and they get, you know, the data feeds and stuff like that. And at the moment, Internet Money Wallet doesn't collect any data from anything. So hopefully it stays that way. That'll be nice. But yeah, the wallet, I've used it quite a bit, and more sort of leaning towards it as my main one. And it's been flawless for me. Really simple, quick to use, and no issues like people say with MetaMask. I know a lot of people are going to Rabby because MetaMask just locks up on PulseChain a fair bit and sort of has issues.
It does.
But yeah, it's just always smooth, just so good. Just give me 2 secs.
Yeah, Rabby or Internet with Money Wallet are so much better than MetaMask. I really don't recommend anybody use MetaMask anymore. I have some old MetaMask wallets, but like I actually just transferred everything out of them to Rabby. I still keep them because like, I might get an airdrop or something, but yeah, it's just for the amount of times I've had to clear the nonce or whatever you call it when the wallet gets stuck. It's like, it seems like once a week I was doing that. It would take me probably an hour a week fixing my MetaMask.
Yeah. 43, 17 more subs to crack the ton. So if you're watching and you haven't subbed, sub. Smash that like button. So what else did I miss while I ran to the toilet and grabbed a drink? I think you're muted there, True Blue.
I am muted. Look at that. Well done. Thank you. No, thanks for the reminder, 43, that we've only got 17 more subs. So yeah, if you can hit the like and the subscribe, that'd be amazing, and give us a nice old share. Ash was asking about the judge. Yeah, Judge Auntie Carol. Yep. She's going to be hopefully giving us a good answer very, very soon. Has Hexadelic? Maybe Charles is 337 years old.
Yeah, he's been pumping that adrenochrome.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right, that's funny stuff. Yeah. No, it's True Blue muted. Yep. Thank you very much. Bit of basic stuff there. Hey, what else we got? The only other thing I wanted to say was just how positive I felt watching the conference. I know people are saying the numbers are down and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of, the market isn't popping yet. It has moved up a lot, and all of us know that BTC at 100 grand is amazing, and that's high, past all-time highs even. But yeah, I don't know, the sentiment's low, but I just like to think that new onboards can look back to the conferences, maybe have a watch, or just even see that it happens and see that there's views and that it's, a 4-day event and stuff like that. And that's enough in itself. And it feels like an echo chamber, because I watch it, and it's like most of the stuff that they talk about on there, I know, or I've seen, or I've heard before. But yeah, there's new people every time that are going to watch it, and they might not comment, and they might not jump on a stream and say, "Oh yeah, I watched it," But I think we just got to know that there's a lot that happens that we don't actually see or get told, and people don't always want to come out publicly. So I think it's just great that the community is still thriving, and that Maddie is getting stuff thrown at him, and he's still, punching on and just keeping it going. Because if he wasn't, I don't know who would. And I definitely know that it wouldn't be as smooth. It wouldn't have that many people on there at all. And
I've heard a lot of people say like, "Oh yeah, I could do it better," but like, then do it better. But like, nobody will step up and actually accomplish that. It's really, really hard to coordinate that many influencers. It's like herding cats. These people are all personalities. They're they're interesting. They're not organized. It would be terrible.
Exactly. It's
Yeah, and even though, like you said, even though the numbers are down, it proves the community's here. So, when people come back and look, it might be another year or it might be the next bull market, but all the proof and the evidence and everything is there that we have been in the whole time. We haven't stopped, and we're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And if it didn't happen,
I agree.
What would that show the sentiment to be? If these people got to Maddie, got to him enough to call it off or whatever, or he just decided not to do it. what would that show where the community is? It'd just be a whole lot of crap.
Show they were retarded. That'd be terrible.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
The concept of like flooding your influencers as you go into the bull market, it's just so handicapped to me. Like, why would you shoot yourself in the foot right before the race, right? Like, it's a terrible plan. You don't have to agree with the influencers. You don't have to like them, but like, if they're promoting the thing that you like, maybe you shouldn't try to destroy them. It's probably a terrible plan. Kind of a, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich type scenario?
100%. Yeah.
But like, it's not like it got no views. Like, there was over 7,000 views on the first day. I'm looking at it.
Oh, right yeah. It definitely got views. Maybe while it was live, it wasn't, it didn't have a heap. Like, I saw it between 200 and 600. Like, and that's just on YouTube. So at any time that I was watching. And then there's X is huge at the moment. Like, right now we've got 30 watching on YouTube and we've got like 60 on X. So the numbers are double. Who knows, unless the numbers are wrong or the feed's not right. But it's definitely there's more than one place to watch things these days. And also other streamers were casting the stream at the same time. So people might not have been watching Matty's stream. They could have been watching the other 10 that were streaming it. So he doesn't care about the views. He just wants it to get out there. So anyway,
I found some interesting data just now. I looked up the first Hex Conference. The first Hex Conference has 5,800 views.
Yeah,
so
okay.
This is better than that, right? And Matty looks pretty hilarious. He's wearing a bow tie, but big difference.
I remember tracking back and watching some of them. Such good stuff. And it's funny watching people. Like, 5 years is a long time, right? I haven't been here for the whole 5 years, but even just seeing older streams, we are together that much, or like in this together, that we're watching each other like bloody age as it goes on. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's just a few days. It's like, this is years and years and years, and there's no stopping it. So I'm loving it, and I just don't like. I was going to go down the don't like the sentiment. I'm loving the other side where there is still a lot of positivity going on, and everyone that was on the conference showed that, and that's what I love. So thanks everyone for keeping up a good sentiment where you are, and bit of fighting, bit of jokes is all good. I'm in for that too, and I know Fast Up. A
bit of banter doesn't hurt anyone, does it?
Yeah. No.
I enjoy it.
And an analogy sort of thing is, all the influencers might not like each other, but they don't have to sit next to each other and be friends. But there's no need, I don't know, let's say you work at a job with 30 other people. You might not like half of them, but you still go there and you do the job and you get it done. You don't have to hang out with them or like them or be friends, but you can still do what you got to do.
Yes, and it's all for the greater outcome. Everyone wants the same outcome. You just don't have to like everything. You all do within that. So, no, it's all cool. It's amazing. But Hexy's saying, good numbers, small comparatively. I'd like to see your comparisons, but the numbers, like I said, could be over 10 different YouTube channels, X platforms, and all sorts of stuff. So, don't think I'm having a go at you, man. I love you as well as another PulseChainer, but I think it was still bloody good. Anyway, I'm feeling like we're pretty much almost done. I'm keen to get on with the rest of the Friday. And Fast Abdul, it must be nice and early where you are.
Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous time right now. I should probably go to bed. But thanks for letting me come on here and wind down.
Thank you, as always, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Sorry. Good to meet you, man.
Hey, good to meet you, mate.
Me on,
catch up future.
Yeah. No, all good. Thanks for coming on, Mayo. Appreciate that. It's been a long time between drinks, but so good. And Fast Abdul, man, you've been smashing the streams this week. So get off the camera, have a break, and
you bet.
Enjoy yourself. No, that's it. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks to the chat. I just saw Yaveen. Sorry, haven't commented on you yet. You're always jumping in here, so thank you very much. But yeah, thanks to everyone jumping in and on the replay gang, and we'll see you next week. Happy Friday. Catch you later.
You bet.